The holler was louder than usual that morning, students rushing past with backpacks hanging off their shoulders and the gossip echoing between the lockers. You walked with your head down, hoping, praying you wouldn't see him today. But of course, you did. John Jungkook, your least favorite problem, the school's unapologetic bad boy, the shameless flirt who treated you like you were his personal entertainment. He was leaning against your locker like he owned it, one foot crossed over the other, black leather jacket hanging off his shoulders, rings glinting on his fingers, his hair messy, his skin sinful. He tilted his head as soon as he saw you. There she is, he muttered, pushing himself off the locker with slow confidence. My favorite good girl, you sighed. Move, he leaned down slightly, his face arrogant and teasing. But if I don't, you are blocking my locker. Move. He smirked. You know, sweetheart, when you talk like that, it makes me wanna bother you even more. You glared. Why do you always flirt with me? Because you look cute when you get angry. He whispered near your ear. Your patience snapped like a breaking thread. Before he could blink, slap, a sharp sting shot up on your head. Gas erupted from the hallway. Jungkook's head slowly turned back toward you, jaw clenched, cheek burning red. This time there was no smile, no teasing, no flirty comeback. Just silence, a heavy, dangerous silence. His eyes darkened off with her, but something colder, something unreadable, something that made your stomach twist with sudden fear. You whispered, "Don't touch me again." He's a muscle tact. Then, without a word, he walked away. No smirk, no comment, just a cold, empty expression that scared you more than all his flirting combined. You didn't know it then, but that silence was the beginning of everything. 2 weeks later, life felt strange, quiet, unsettling. Quiet. Joe no longer flirted with you, no smirks in hallways, no blocking your locker, no teasing comments whispered in your ear. He didn't even look your way. And instead of relief, you felt something else, uneasy, grave, fear, because Jungkook ignoring you felt more dangerous than Jungkook flirting with you. He had changed overnight. Cool, silent, dark. Every time you caught a glimpse of him, his face was unreadable like a mask. No expression, no mischief, just emptiness. You tried to shake it off until the night your life flipped upside down. At home, you entered the living room and froze. Your parents were sitting formally on the sofa across from them, said Jungkook. And his parents, your breath caught in your throat. What was going on? What's going on? Your mother smiled nervously. We were discussing something important, sweetheart. Jung sat straight, eyes cold, unreadable. He didn't smile, didn't speak, didn't even acknowledge your presence. Your father cleared his throat. We want you and Jungkook to get married. Your whole world stopped. Married? You whispered. Yes, your father continued proudly. We have known his family for years and Jungkook's behavior has improved recently. He seems more mature. Your eyes darted to Jungkook. Improve? Mature? He looked like a storm waiting to explode, but he just stared ahead, jaw tight. Your mother smiled at you. Jungkook has already agreed. Your heart dropped to the floor. You looked at him sharply, expecting him to smirk or shrug, or say something stupid in his usual flirty manner. But instead, he said nothing. He didn't even blink. Your father turned to you. Do you have anything to say? You forced you forced air into your lungs. Can I talk to him alone? Your parents nodded. You led Jungkook outside into the garden, your hands trembling. The second the door closed behind you, you spun around. What are you doing? You hissed. He didn't flinch, nothing. You agreed to this marriage? Yes. Why? Your voice shook. Is this some kind of joke? His cold eyes finally meet yours. Do I look like I'm joking? The tone flat, empty, emotionless, and the chill down your spine. You stepped back instinctively. He noticed, and the slow, unreadable smirk touched his lips only for a second. Your throat tightening. I slapped you, Zango. If there's some revenge? Revenge? He repeated very slow. If I wanted revenge, do you think I would marry you for it? His words didn't comfort you, they only made your heart beat faster. He took one step closer, not too close, but close enough to make your breath itch. You don't need to be scared, he said quietly, but the way he said it, the emotionless tone, only scared you more. You whispered, then why agree? He tilted his head slightly. I had my reasons. What reasons? His eyes locked with yours, dark, intense. You will find out later. Your stomach dropped. He was not flirting, he was not teasing. He was serious, scarily serious. You said it. I need time. Take it. He said simply. His voice gave nothing away but the decisions already made. But my parents are happy. Yours are happy. He said with a gentle shrug. They're already planning the engagement. You will stumble. You didn't even ask me. You didn't ask before slapping me. He replied lightly. Your heart froze. His tone was not angry. No sarcastic, just cold, and that made it worse. You stared at him with wide, confused eyes. He stared back, calm, emotionless, impossible to read. Everything happened too fast. The ring, the photographs, the congratulations. You stood beside Jungkook, your hand cold in his. Your body stiff with fear. He barely spoke, barely looked at you. But whenever you accidentally made eye contact with him, his eyes were dark, intense, unreadable. And every time you looked away, he smirked faintly just for a second like he enjoyed your fear. But no one else noticed, only you did. Your sister whispered, he looked so serious, you are so lucky. You felt the opposite of lucky, you felt trapped. You stepped outside for air, the lights, music, and people suffocated you. You leaned against the railing, eyes closed. Suddenly, you felt a presence behind you, Jungkook. You turned instantly. Don't sneak up on me like that. He stared at you, expression blank. You ran away from the party. I needed air. You muttered. He walked closer. He stepped slow, controlled. Are you scared of me? No, you lied. He raised an eyebrow. Really? You said. He leaned his back against the wall beside you, staring ahead. You think I'm doing this to punish you for the slap? Your heart stopped. He smiled a little. Your face says everything. You looked away quickly. He lowered his voice near your ear, not touching you, just close enough for your breath to catch. If this was revenge, he's too dope target. Trust me, sweetheart, you would know. You froze. He stepped back, looking at you with a calm expression that felt almost mocking. Relax, he said. You will understand later. He turned to walk away. But looked over his shoulder one last time. Good night, fiance. You stood frozen, your chest heavy, your heart racing, your mind spilling. You didn't know it was a prank. You didn't know he was doing it just to scare you a little. You didn't know he was secretly holding himself from smiling every time you panicked. All you knew was that Jungkook, the boy you once slapped, was now the man you were about to marry. And he was not the same anymore, or at least you thought he was not. The wedding preparations moved faster than your heartbeat ever could. One moment you were slipping a ring on your finger, and the next moment you were being wrapped in bridal clothing, makeup brushes dusting over your face as your mother fussed around you, but no amount of beauty could hide the fear in your eyes, a fear Jungkook caused, a fear Jungkook loved watching, but you had no idea. The hall was decorated with gold, lights, and flowers that smelled too sweet, too heavy. Guests filled the room, laughing, talking, unaware of the storm inside your chest. You entered the hall slowly, your eyes unintentionally searching for him, and then you saw him. Jungkook standing near the stage in a perfectly tailored black sherwani. Hands behind his back, expressions ice cold. He was not smiling, he was not blushing, he was not nervous. He looked like he was attending a funeral, his own, or maybe yours. Your breath trembled. He watched you walk toward him, his stare unreadable, calm, almost poor, but there was something else. A flicker, a tiny curve of his lips, a faint smirk that disappeared before anyone else noticed. Only you caught it, and it terrified you. When he took your hand, his fingers were warm, too warm, but his grip was firm, almost controlling. Like he wanted you to know you couldn't pull away. He slid the ring onto your finger without breaking eye contact. No words, no smile, and no emotions. You swallowed hard. When it was your turn, your hands shook so badly the ring nearly slipped. Jungkook noticed his lips twist again into that half smirk, half warning expressions. He leaned in just enough for only you to hear. Nervous? You flinched. He pulled back instantly, his cold mask snapping back into place before anyone around could see. Your mind raced. Why was he doing this? Why was he so cool? Is it because of the slap? Is he punishing me? You couldn't breathe properly. But the ceremony continued, and soon you were pronounced husband and wife. Your heart dropped. Jungkook didn't even look at you. He simply nodded once at the elders, keeping a respectable, perfect gentleman figure. But behind the perfect behavior, you felt something darker. The car door closed with a quiet but heavy thud. You sat on one side, keeping your hands folded tightly in your lap. Joe sat beside you, elbow resting casually, eyes out of the window. He didn't speak, didn't ask if you were okay, didn't try to hold your hand or reassure you. His silence was suffocating halfway through the ride. He finally spoke. Stop shaking. You jerked slightly. I am not. You are. His tone was not harsh, but it was not comforting either. Just a plain observation that felt like a warning. You looked away, embarrassed and terrified. I'm sorry, for what? He muttered. You started voice palely a whisper for slapping you. Joe didn't react. Didn't turn to look at you, didn't say it's fine, didn't dismiss it. He simply said, we are married now, it doesn't matter. But the way he said it made it sound like it did matter a lot. You clenched your chest and your face tears picking your eyes beside Joe secretly smirked at the window's reflection. Not cruelly, but in satisfaction. His prank was working. You had no idea. The mansion was grand and quiet, too quiet. The hallway echoed with your footsteps. The walls held expensive art that made you feel even smaller. John walked in front of you, hands in his pockets. Posture relaxed but intimidating. He gestured casually. This is your home now. You nodded, unsure how to respond. A maid approached politely. Sir, the room is prepared. Room? Your heartbeat stuttered. Was he expecting you to? Jung spoke before your thoughts spiraled. We will share a room. Your face pale. He turned slyly, watching your expression with unreadable eyes. Is that a problem? No. Good. He walked on, and you followed silently, your hands trembling at your side. Who opened the large double doors to the master bedroom. The room was beautiful, but felt dangerous. He stepped inside first, removed his Sherwani coat, and placed it on the chair. His movements were slow, controlled, like he wanted to feel every second of his presence. You stood near the entrance, frozen. He glanced back at you. You were standing too far. You took a small step inside, closer. He said quietly. Your breath hissed, but you obeyed. Now you were only a few feet apart, staring at each other. His eyes traveled over your face, not with desire, but with something darker, something that made you want to hide. Relax, he murmured. I'm not going to touch you. Your shoulders dropped slightly eerily, but I want you to look at me when I speak. You froze again. He stepped closer, just one step, not touching, just close enough to make your skin burn. Do you understand? You nodded. Use words. Yes. His eyes softened, but only for a second before he turned away. You can sleep on the bed, he said casually. I will take the couch. Your head snapped up in surprise. He smiled faintly, now looking at you. What? You thought I would force you or something? He looked down, ashamed. I don't know, he chuckled under his breath. But his tone was not offended, it was entertained. You didn't understand. You sat on the edge of the bed carefully, feeling lost and overwhelmed. Jungwoo removed his rings one by one, placing them on the bedside table, every movement slow, almost teasing. Then he finally looked at you. Don't be scared, he said quietly. I'm not a monster. You looked up at him, and for 1 second you swore his eyes softened, a real softness, a hidden warmth. But then he blinked, mask sliding back on, and he turned away. Get some sleep, he said, laying down on the couch without another glance. Tomorrow will be a long day. You lay down slowly, staring at the ceiling, tears slipping silently down your cheeks. The room was starlit only but by the soft golden glow of a single lamp. You lay on the far edge of the bed, facing the wall.